Torey, just what was that like? You guys lose that game 5, you're on the ice. You know that there's a chance that you won't be back. What was that like, sort of processing that? And did you process that, or have you in the days since?
Yeah, I think the initial shock and emotion of your season coming to an end, and we battled pretty hard there, and that was the initial reaction, and looking around, seeing the disappointment on the guys' faces, it was tough. But yeah, I mean, haven't really thought too much about it recently. It was just the emotions of losing and your season coming to an end. It's so abrupt, and you don't really have time to think about it. And then we just headed home, and now I'm here with my family. So well, reflect on the season over the last few days, or the next coming days, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Go next to Kevin Dupont.
Morning, Torey. How are you? Hello?
Torey, do you got us?
Yeah, can you I thought I finished.
Yeah, no. So, Dupes, can you hear Dupes?
No, I can't.
Anybody hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, great. Morning, Torey. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
First of all, where are you? Are you in Boston or Michigan, or where are you?
Yeah, back in Boston.
Okay. I'm just curious about the free agency and what fit means to you. And I've had this discussion with a whole whack of guys over the 30 years or so, that you know the town, the coach, your role. And so as you cast forward here to wherever the date free agency is going to be, how much does fit mean to you? Fit in terms of experience, knowledge base, all the knowns here.
Yeah, it's a good question, and I think it weighs heavily on any decision that an athlete can make. And if you don't consider that, then I think you're foolish. But for me, it's very important. I think you can make all the money in the world and have all the security in the world, but if you're not comfortable in the situation, you're not happy, then every day is going to be tough to get up and excited to show up to work and give it all. So for me, it's very important. I think it's very tough to kind of forecast 2, 3, 4 years down the line and try to understand what that fit will feel like then, because players move on, coaches move on. Those are just some of the things you have to consider, but it's a big part of the decision. Obviously, I've made it well known that I feel very comfortable in Boston. I like my role here. I'm comfortable with the coach, and I love my teammates. So it's no secret, and it's a big part of the decision.
We'll go next to Steve Conroy.
Hey, Torey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, good. Welcome home. Just, I know you didn't want to talk about it during the season here, but what was the contact with Donnie like during the season, as far as contract extension talk, and just where is your optimism/pessimism level that something can get done here?
The contact was very, very few and far between. For whatever reason, and it is what it is. As far as what it looks like, I don't really know what the future holds in terms of the coming weeks, and free agency isn't until about I think a week after the season ends in terms of the Stanley Cup being awarded. So we'll see. I guess there's a lot of time between now and then. I'm not really sure, what the future holds, and I'm willing to sit back and see what happens here. But that's pretty much all I got for you.
We'll go next to Jimmy Murphy. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Torey, obviously everything's been so weird and so much uncertainty on and off the ice right now. As you've sort of processed that and lived through it, has that affected your thinking about how you're approaching free agency? And, given the financial climate that everyone's facing, if teams come to you, or even the Bruins, saying, do you want to do a 1 year and bet on yourself? Are you opposed to that?
Yeah, I'm very opposed to that. I've bet on myself, and I've taken shorter term deals and less amount of money my whole career now. So this is my time in terms of my value at its peak, and I have the ability, and I'm in a position now where I have leverage. I need to make the most of it. So yeah, I'm very opposed to something like that. I've done it long enough now, and that's the situation I'm facing.
Thanks.
Yep.
Go next to Joe Haggerty.
Hey, can you hear me, Torey?
Yep.
Hey, bud. Just wondering, where do you think things went wrong as far as just as a group on the back end during that series against Tampa? Just production. I know at times Butchie was saying the defense needed to get more involved and, things like that. And it seemed like as a group, as a unit, the defensemen weren't playing like they did during the regular season. Was it as simple as a matchup against Tampa? Was it never regaining as a unit what you had during the regular season? Where do you kind of think things went wrong?
You're talking in terms of offensive production?
Yeah, and all around game, but certainly the offensive part of it, definitely.
Yeah, I actually think their forwards did a great job of blocking shots, and in particular myself, I had a hard time getting shots through to the net. I thought they were blocking shots and coming out in the lanes very aggressively. I thought there was a little bit more that we could have done as a group, and I know the defense didn't really come through offensively for us, but I think if we had a third man high, it would have opened up a little bit more. We had it occasionally in that series. And I'm talking about a forward jumping up in between the defensemen there so that it could open up, options to pass and then jump through. And I think we saw it a little bit there when, we were down in the game and we were pushing late, or, desperation kicked in. I think we finally saw that. But I think they did a good job. And obviously we all expect a little bit more out of ourselves. And you're seeing what defensemen around the league, specifically in the Western Conference, are doing right now offensively, and you're seeing the success that their team are having because of it. And you kind of look back now and you're like, well, if I did a little bit more, maybe the team would have we'd still be standing right now. So yeah, it's frustrating it didn't happen, but we're a group of 23 guys. We had 31 guys in the bubble, and we're all part of it, and I'm sure we all wish we could have done a little bit more.
We'll go next to Dan Roach. Dan, you can unmute yourself when you're ready.
Hey, Torey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Hope you're doing okay. Just a thought, kind of following up what you were talking earlier about how much does it weigh on your mind, not only the comfort of Boston, being with your team and your coach and your core, but also do you feel like you have maybe unfinished business with how close you guys have come in recent years and in trying to win a cup here again in Boston? Yeah,
I mean, I think I've seen something before where it's, I'm the longest tenured Boston athlete without a championship. And that's extremely frustrating because, every year here, it seems like there's a team that's going on a run or winning a championship, and you want to be part of that culture and that group of athletes that brings happiness to the city. But yeah, it's part of it. I've been to 2 finals and haven't been able to come through now. Both seemingly ended with extreme disappointment, and being so close and yet feeling so far away from getting it. And then you got to restart from ground zero and go back again and just do it all over. And the energy and the amount of time and people that, are required to go on a long run like that, it's tough to manage and tough to put it together again. So we definitely feel like, there's unfinished business. We feel every year that when we start training camp, we have the team and the group that has the ability to go back and do it again and eventually lift the Stanley Cup. So this core group of guys and the supporting cast around it, we get excited at the chance of winning every single year. And we obviously feel like there is unfinished business there.
We'll go next to Fluto Shinzawa. Fluto, you can unmute yourself.
Hey, Torey. First off, whatever happens here, also best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it. It comes down to a business decision both for you and for Boston. But emotionally, just given that you've invested all your adult life here into this team, and then to have this possibly not be extended and not having them initiate too many talks, just how does that make you feel emotionally? Is it hurtful that it's gotten to this?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I've spent my whole adult life, my whole professional career here in this organization, the city, and I've done seemingly everything that they've asked of me, and I'm proud of that. I've put all my energy into trying to help this team win games and win championships, and we've come close twice now, and unfortunately it wasn't in the cards for us. But I'm a big believer that there's a journey for all of us, and whether it's here or somewhere else, I'm not too worried about it or anxious about it. But yeah, there's an emotional attachment. I think that's a mistake that a lot of athletes, get caught up in, when they start their professional careers. There's nothing personal about it. It's business on both ends. Teams have to put the best team forward, spending, certain amounts of money, and, athletes have one shot at making all their money in their career, whether you play 1 to 1, 2, 3 years in the league, up to 10 to 15 years, you have one shot to do it all. So I realize that, and it is what it is, but there definitely is an emotional attachment. There's no secret. I've been very outspoken about it, and my teammates know it. Everyone knows it. So yeah, it's part of the business, and it stinks, but we'll see what happens moving forward.
We'll take our last question for Torey from Mike Loftus. Take us home, Mike.
Torey, how are you?
Mike, well, how are you?
Good. Can you hear everybody?
Got you.
Yep. Everybody else has been scooping my questions, so I'll go a different way. You could be in a position where you might go into something that, have you given thought to looking at a situation or considering a situation where you would be like sort of, a leader in a building, or a rebuild or something like that?
I got to be honest, I haven't thought about any other team or any other situation. It's been, I was very truthful and honest with you guys when I told you I wasn't thinking about it during the season, and I invested all my time in, what's going on with the Bruins, and I was very hopeful that it would result in, ending back up with the Bruins. So I haven't thought about any other team or any other situation up to date. Likely as we approach free agency, I'll probably have to do that, but I haven't thought about anything. Very proud of, what we've done here in Boston over the years, and, being part of that core group. Guys have come and gone, and, I've managed to stay for, 8 years now, and very happy that I was part of it. So hopefully it continues, and hopefully I still am, and that's just the situation that's here. Yeah, that's all I got, but I appreciate all you guys, all the questions over the years, good and bad, and, your professionalism. Hopefully I'll be seeing you soon at the rinks, and if not, I'll see you elsewhere. But I appreciate you guys, everyone that's here in the chat, that I've seen in person over the years, and I really appreciate everything.